Hello there, freaks and geeks. Isabel here. Welcome back to Reeled In. We have another Marvel ranking video today. I did Phase 4 and Phase 5, and I figured why not just make a completed series and go through 1, 2, and 3. So today's video will be Phase 1 rankings. It'll be a quicker video since it was the beginning of the MCU movies. There's only six, and one of them technically was added, I think, to the MCU because it's not Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner. Also, something I like to do is listen to the movie soundtracks. So I will put below in the description the best of Marvel Phase 1 playlist that I made on YouTube Music. I forgot to say this in the video, but I also did make one for Phase 4 and Phase 5. I will link that below here, and I will also link it to those corresponding videos. I will be making a Phase 2 and 3. Do not fear, I just need some time to do that. But let's get into the rankings. Again, this is not in any particular order. It's not in chronological order. Actually, it might be in backwards chronological order, depending. We are going to start with Captain America, the First Avenger. Now, I have to say, this is automatic. It's gonna go to superior. Our rankings are superior, A, B, C, and D. I am a Cap fan. I'm a Captain America fan. I love what he stands for. I love his character. And in terms of making us feel for the character and also appreciating his story arc and the movie's plot, I think this was a very good movie. It kind of, in the MCU storyline, it kind of starts us off, really gives us an answer to all of these events that will then follow the movie. Just having Steve be a genuinely good person, he genuinely just wants to help and he wants to do what's best for his country. He's definitely very patriotic, but in a way, I think he wants to do it for the right reasons. He has his own personal reasons, doesn't necessarily want to do it for fame and glory. It's just because at the time it was, to him, it was the right thing to do. And that, I think that is why I do like Steve Rogers so much. Even when he got the serum, he did not change in any way personality-wise to make himself worse or anything. But to see himself go from someone being used as a propaganda symbol and kind of shedding those chains and becoming the true Captain America, that I think is probably one of the best parts of that movie and why I rank it so highly. And of course you have his relationship with Bucky and the turmoil and the twists and turns that come with that as well. Again, I think this movie did a very good job of making us care for its characters. In terms of a Phase 1 Marvel movie, this was not bad. I appreciated it. And then we have the first Avengers movie with Nat and Iron Man and Cap and Hulk and Thor and Hawkeye. I feel like I could give this one a B. It was the first one. It was the first Avengers. A little nostalgic, especially now in 2026. Holy crap. I did very much appreciate the concept of these individuals coming together, all completely different individuals, and learning how to work together. And poor New York, which always seems to be ground zero for any tragic or apocalyptic thing that's going to happen. But them all teaming up to go against Loki. It's a good superhero movie. I'll give it a B. Now, Thor, I don't know. I feel like Thor might have to get a C. Again, Thor's character has come very far over the years. So it is hard to rank these movies without kind of thinking about all the other movies, these characters have been in and their growth as characters and their stories. You got Darcy Lewis and Jane Foster. So the reason why it's not a D actually is because of them. But in terms of, again, these are Phase 1 movies, so I'm trying to be generous. I'm trying to take that into account. But it's a class. Thor is a classic. The typical story of, arrogant person, faces consequences, has to learn to be a better person. It's a classic movie. It's gonna stay a C. But I do have to tell you, the soundtrack for Thor, phenomenal. Actually, I didn't expect it to be that good, but it is phenomenal. And also the relationship that Thor and Jane develop, I think was a very nice part of the movie as well. The very first Iron Man. I'm gonna have to give it a C. And this is for my personal feeling. And also just to know that these rankings are my personal opinion. They're just how I feel about the movie. If you guys have differing opinions, that's great. If you disagree, that's also great. You know, I always feel bad whenever I don't like a certain movie or show or anything. So if I don't like something and you guys do, that's awesome. Now, this might be controversial, but I am not really an Iron Man fan. I don't like Tony Stark. I don't like his personality. I don't like him as a person. This is not a slight against Robert Downey Jr. I think Robert Downey Jr. is a great man, a great actor. But Tony Stark, I just am not a fan of personally. This was definitely a lot of like, in my opinion, a lot of like Middle East, a lot of war propaganda for a movie. And this was what came in like 2008, right? So like the timing, you know, in Hollywood kind of made sense why it was like that. But I was not a fan of it. I've never been a fan of it. So, but again, like, you know, it does have some intense scenes for Tony Stark to go through, like almost dying in a cave and having to live with a piece of metal in your chest. Kind of crazy. It was the very first one. I appreciate that it was what started and snowballed the MCU and everything that we've gotten from the MCU. I very much appreciate that from this movie. But again, I'm just not an Iron Man fan. But, you know, again, there are cool scenes where he's, you know, suiting up and he's flying around. Okay, The Incredible Hulk, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's been a very long time since I've seen it. The 2008 Incredible Hulk. But honestly, I will give it a B. I almost gave it an A. I will give it a B because I will say this is probably the only Hulk movie, at least in recent times, that I think really dives into the conflict between Bruce Banner and the Hulk. You know, we kind of get jokes about that in the MCU. We do see it played out, but in my personal opinion, it doesn't do it in the depth that this original movie, well, I say it's not the original movie, but this original, I guess, MCU, because apparently it is part of the MCU, movie does. Not only like the physical destruction, like, you know, Hulk and the Abomination destroying everything, but also like, in a way, like personal destruction, like what that does to your life, to the relationships, the people around you. This movie probably does make me appreciate the character of the Hulk a little bit more, because I'm not really a Hulk fan. You know, I'm not a smash fit, like that's just, it doesn't do much for me. But, you know, maybe in the future, or I wish in the past, for the MCU regarding the Hulk, I wish it did take that a bit more into consideration. You know, there's two types of people who, when they say the Hulk is their favorite character, is he your favorite character because he runs around being loud and destroying everything all the time? Or is he your favorite character because of him? He is quite a complex character. So again, I wish we did see a bit more of that in the MCU, but that's why that movie ranks quite high for me. Also, Iron Man 2. Now, I just listened to all these soundtracks. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really remember what happens in Iron Man 2. We have the introduction of Natasha Romanoff, which again, love that part. We do get Ivan as the villain, I believe. And we get Rhodey as well. Rhodey as the War Machine. I don't know if I can give it a C even, because I don't know if I could classify it. It might have to be a D, and that's not even because if the movie, I don't even. The fact that I can remember points from every other movie except for this one, that probably gives you the answer of why it's ranked so low. Yeah, Iron Man 2, it's a D. I don't think I really have to explain why it is a D. It's just that it is a D. Only 6. Remember when they only released 6 things per phase? I think Phase 2 also has 6 movies, I believe. Dang, you can obviously this is for sure where you can see my personal opinions coming through. Captain America, he's all the way up there in superior, and then you have like B's, C's, and a D. No one got an A. But guys, those are my rankings for Phase 1. It might be a hot second before we get Phase 2 and 3 rankings, but I will be sure to try and get them out to you. Let me know down in the comments, how do you feel about Phase 1? What is your favorite Phase 1 movie? Your least favorite? Let me know. Love to hear it. And what are your rankings, if you have any? But guys, that's all I've got for you today. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Hey, thanks for stopping by. To any of my returning viewers, welcome back, and to any new viewers, welcome. Here on this channel, you will find a shared love of fandom, with videos of merchandise reviews, exhibition tours and walkthroughs, fandom discussions, theme parks, and a lot more. Feel free to subscribe and check out some of my other videos. But thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.